Hola and welcome to a new episode of the Roofless Dog and Pony Show. My name is Julio Panicello. I am the dream alchemist at Roofless Painters, a free-range art school, atelier, and gallery for present-day romantics. With every episode, we reveal the theme of the next painting collection, so you can find out what we will be painting next and also the reason why. As you know, we're doing this now bi-weekly because we are enjoying the process of creating a collection of paintings based on a theme so much that we decided an extra week would do the work justice. And we're getting a great feedback, and so that's why we're going to do the episodes every other week. So we will explore different possibilities for visual representation of the concept, using images of paintings throughout art history as inspiration while citing stylistic and historical references. In many ways, our episodes are like our paintings, messy, unpredictable, and unvarnished. So that's sort of like a disclaimer, I guess. So you can find all the episodes on Instagram and also on our YouTube channel. We just put all of them there. And also you can find them as podcast on any podcast platform. You just type the Roofless Dog and Pony Show and you'll find a bunch of episodes. We need to catch up with all of them, but we will. So you're welcome to contact us with any questions or to comment on this episode if you have anything that you wanted to say that contributes to the theme of this next painting collection. We humbly stand to be corrected also. So let's just go ahead after the introduction. Thank you so much for being here. And so this week we're going to combine two elements, two themes into one. And they are based on two things that we watched and saw that are so amazing, and they are in a way related to each other. One is a documentary and the other one is a painting. And I'm going to talk about the documentary first, and then I'm going to talk about the painting after. And after I mention both things, we'll propose a combination of both as the theme for the painting collection. So the documentary, it's called 306. Well, let's just do it a little bit later. It's called 306. Oh, perfect timing. 306 Hollywood. Our wonderful Jen just recommended the documentary to us, to me, and I watched it, and it's amazing. It documents the life of an older person before she passed away, and then what the siblings do after she passes away. The documentary is done by her two grand siblings, I guess. And they're both filmmakers, and what they decide to document their grandmother by recording her when she is alive, 10 years before she passed away. And then they create an art project, essentially, that helps them to deal with grief and memory of her grandmother. And again, 306 Hollywood, it's interesting, it's amazing. But the interesting part is the fact that after she passes away, they use her house as a canvas to experiment how you can collect or catalog someone's objects or belongings. So in a way, it's what they do or what they perform is an archaeological excavation at their grandma's house after she passes away, and they document all the experiments in curation, in presentation, and exhibition that they can come up with. And sometimes they actually ask curators, they ask archaeologists, they asked sartorial preservationists. They ask someone to come into the house and then examine her grandma's clothes. So not only the story is amazing, or the basis for the documentary is amazing, but the cinematography is incredible. In essence, we find that this documentary, it's a visual poem to honor somebody. And also, it's an interesting, creative way to trace someone's life through the objects that this person left behind. So I'm going to show you three images from this documentary, 306 Hollywood, that show one way in which the two filmmakers organized or categorized their grandma's objects. They did it by color. So this is one of the objects. So they categorized the objects using green as a base, and the objects on this presentation, they're from different parts of the house, from the kitchen to the bedrooms, but they just decided that arranging them geometrically by color could be a good way of remembering her grandma because she was also fashion designer, I would say. These are objects categorized by pink, again organized in a very geometric, careful way, but the criteria here is color. So these are objects that she owned throughout her life. She lived in the same house the majority of her life. So that's only at the beginning of the documentary, essentially, because they come up with and this is organized by yellow. So during or on the documentary, you sort of like see them going through the house, going through the rooms, and then just in one way being frustrated, in the other way not knowing what to do with all this stuff, but at the same time just portraying how much they loved her and how much she meant to them. So there's a combination of real human emotions with a focus on memorializing somebody through the objects that were left behind. So this is something that we watched. Thanks, Jen, for recommending the documentary. If you haven't watched it, you should. I think as an artist, you will appreciate it. It's titled 306 Hollywood. It won many awards. The score won an Emmy, and then a few cinematography awards in very important festivals around the world. So we also, on Tuesday, we posted a painting that we found by Henri Le Sidaner. He was a painter, contemporary of the post-impressionist at the beginning of the 20th century. And he is not an incredibly well-known painter because when you first see his work, you almost feel like it's a little bit, it's very traditional. It almost feels commercial. But if you dig a little deeper, there's something about the paintings that has a little bit of a connection with this documentary, in the sense that there's some intimate approach to objects and a way of visually cataloging the objects on a canvas that feels similar. And specifically in 1927, he painted 8 canvases. The series was called La Table. And he created 8 tablescapes. And this is what we're going to do in the next 2 weeks. We're going to paint tablescapes. So, but he did it in color harmonies. So 8 tablescapes in color harmonies. And Christie's, a couple of weeks ago, posted one of the canvases from this series, Henri Le Sidaner, a French painter. I forgot the title, the dates, but yeah, these were painted in 1927. Let me see if I can find. So I'm gonna show you the first painting. This is La Table, Harmonie Gray, I believe. The Gray Harmony, or Gray Harmony Table, Harmony Gray, I guess. We posted it on Tuesday, and we got a great reaction from everyone. So we found a few more, but not all of them. So I'm gonna show you. We're gonna go back to this one. This is Harmony in Yellow, part of the same series. We found also Harmony in Red. So again, color is the dominant criteria on this staging or stylizing of objects on a table. And we also found Harmony in Green. It's not a faded painting. Harmony in Green. Again, similar arrangement in the sense of the composition being very balanced and very focused. And finally, we believe it's part of the series. This is Harmony in Purple. So these 8 paintings that he created, they were exhibited in a very famous gallery in Paris. Georges, I believe, Petit, Galerie Georges Petit. It was very famous, and it was a private gallery that served as the most important marketplace for all the amazing artists that produced work at the time. So it was a big success. He sold everything, and he was a very famous artist during his lifetime, and he was also very wealthy. And these paintings, I'm going to go back to the one that we saw at Christie's, and it's being sold in 6 days, and the estimated price, it's about $400,000. So this is a time when he left Paris. He is often called an intimist painter, and he was known for painting or depicting domestic interiors and quiet scenes. So his style contains some elements of Impressionism, and he was influenced by Manet, by Monet, and also by pointillism. So his brushstrokes are very fragmented. He favored subdued color palettes, so everything is very harmonious, a la James Whistler, we should say. Who preceded him, by the way. So he traveled widely. He was to different parts of Europe. He was a skilled nocturne painter, which means that he loved painting at night. And some of the contemporary critics, they say that his work is too redundant because he always painted intimate scenes and scenes without people in them. So much so that at the time, when he was alive, he was called the painter of silence. That was his nickname, I guess. So going back to this painting, one of his preferred subjects in the 1920s, this was finished, this whole series was finished in 1927. But his preferred subject matter or theme was decadently arranged tablescapes. He just loved painting really opulent tablescapes and treating them in a very harmonious way. So I'm going to read a couple of things from the essay that Christie's put together or wrote regarding this specific painting, because I think they did a phenomenal job, and unfortunately they don't they don't put the person who wrote this amazing thing, but anyhow, so this is a quote from an art critic at the time when this painting was shown. Quote, I gave Le Citadiner at the beginning of this article the title he so well deserves, as a painter of silence. I could also have called him the painter of evocations. So much is his talent suggestive for distant reveries and overflowing with unforeseen revelations. Anyhow, so the proposal for this week is a combination of us becoming archaeologists in our own homes. So we're going to ask you to do an archaeological excavation in your environment and pick a few objects that you think could trace to your life, essentially. They could trace, not necessarily that they could tell a story, but they could trace to how they could define your being, how they could define your being. So find a few objects, and then we're going to do a tablescape with those objects. And we're gonna treat them with a color harmony. All right, let me just kind of like recapitulate and try to make a better statement about what we are proposing with this week's collection of paintings. We love the idea of treating our environment as an archaeological excavation. So the idea would be to literally dig in drawers, in closets, in cupboards, in cabinets, under the bed, and find random objects that they don't have to have a specific relationship, that for some reason, almost subconsciously, they mean something to you, or you feel like they can describe you in a way, or they can be tokens for who you think you are. It could be from a toothbrush to underwear, something intimate, to a sartorial accessory, a piece of jewelry, perhaps, something that feels it represents you. And then we're going to place those objects and stylize them. I know that we did clutter clusters once. We took photos of our messy homes, but this will be a highly stylized tablescape in which you are going to position the objects, arrange them as if they were on a stage. And when we paint them, we're going to use a dominant color on the painting, inspired by Le Citadiner, a series of 8 canvases, La Table. So it could be harmony in red, harmony in yellow, harmony in green, in purple. The idea will be to practice the color harmony and then also bring the intimism, the intimate approach to objects that we love from the amazing documentary. So we hope this is inspiring, exciting, that this is also evocative. And at the same time, if you watch the documentary, by the way, that could be the homework of the next 2 weeks. If you watch the documentary, we would love to hear what you think about it. There are some beautiful scenes, and there's some really creepy scenes, and there's some poetic scenes and some gruesome scenes. So it's like a really interesting combination of everything. And then so this will be the theme. So sign up, and as we said yesterday with our executive memorandum, we are announcing today that on Wednesday, November 10th, oh my gosh, I almost forgot. It's less than 2 months before the year ends, so it's just a little bit Ridiculous. We're gonna go back to the Ace Hotel on the rooftop, and we just put that on the calendar. So November 10th evening, 7 to 9, painting rendezvous at the rooftop of the Ace Hotel, and so that is next week. So hurry up, because we've been selling easels like really quickly. It's been really amazing. Thank you so much for the support. But we're gonna make the announcement on Instagram today, and also we're gonna send an email. And we're excited to celebrate Diwali or Diwali. I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, tonight at the amazing 5-star Lowe's Santa Monica Beach Hotel. With an incredible group of people, and so yeah, we're gonna paint some candles. So we've been painting some intimate scenes recently, some healing themes, crystals, birds, rescue birds. So we feel like we need this us time, and to sort of like detach ourselves from this ugly world around us. So go to our website, rooflesspainters.com. You can find the calendar there, the link to the Ace Hotel rooftop painting rendezvous on November 10th from 7 to 9 p.m. is there. We had a spectacular time last time. It's an incredible place, and they are treating us so amazingly. So we're excited to go back there. And let me see if I can just say one more thing. Yeah. Oops. I don't. Okay. Here we go. So the title of the painting collection this week will be Intimate Tablescape. Intimate Tablescape, combining two things. And thank you for joining us on this live. I think it's the most crowded live attendance ever, and the history of the Roofless Dog and Pony Show. We're almost hitting double digits, you guys. So thanks everyone for joining, and we hope to see you painting these next couple of weeks. Bye.